1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Ba-ba-dum.
We're putting the band back together.
Forget it. No way.
We're on a mission from God.
I'm back, baby.
Here we go.
Put the word out there.
Here we go.
Back up.
Here we go.
Understand me? We back up.
Check 1, 2.
They say
Check
everyone
1, 2.
deserves a
Check 1,
second
2.
chance.
Check 1, 2.
Apparently, so do radio shows.
We are back, baby.
After years apart, countless bad sports takes from everyone else, and more than a few people saying, you know who should do a show together again?
We're back.
Somebody actually made it happen.
We are back. We are back.
Steve Czaban and Josh Albrecht, back together again.
What does that do? Does that blow your mind? That just happened.
A man who loves digital assets, hates replay, and always leaves early. Milwaukee's adopted hometown son, Steve Czaban.
I can't believe what we're seeing. What just happened?
It's the Steve Czaban Show with Josh Albrecht on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but you should be aware that Game 7 of the World Series, if necessary, is set for Halloween night. Can you even imagine if we pinch ourselves and say, what if, maybe, could be? Somebody said any kid that knocks on my door ain't getting nothing on Halloween night if there is a Game 7, and you know who is in it. How you doing, everybody? Welcome aboard. It is the Steve Czaban Show with Josh Albrecht, who's on assignment this week. The assignment is to drain his and Julie's bank account of as much money as they can at Disneyland for the week that is. Aaron Morse, though, is riding shotgun producing the show, chucking beer cans out the window, wearing his official Wisconsin Sports Radio Network rope hat, which is ironic because I pulled one of only 2 rope hats out of my closet this morning from a selection of probably 100 or so hats. And we were commenting on how neither one of us typically are rope hat guys.
Yeah, so we have 3 combined rope hats in our possession, and we're wearing 2 of them.
We're wearing 2 of them. What are the odds of that? Let me just say, looks good on you, buddy. Looking
Thanks.
sharp there, Morsey.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Your
nicely
hat's
done.
pretty
Okay,
slick too. I would say you were showing it off, and
so I picked up
Yeah.
this hat at Brown Deer, easily pound for pound the greatest municipal golf course in the history of the game of golf, right here in Milwaukee, and the crown jewel of the park system. And they have these hats that have the so-called Miller Lite style patch, or not Miller, the High Life style patch, which is the sort of the 4-sided blob. And it's a wooden applique, so it's made of a thin little wood, but it's got Brown Deer Park carved into it, and then it's got the rope on it. And I'm like, damn, this is a sharp-looking hat. I think I'm going to get it. I don't know if the rope is going to stay because I've already thought about snipping it off. Do you know anyone that has bought a rope hat for reasons they like everything else, but they just don't want the rope and they cut the rope?
you know, I don't know, actually. I don't ask if, hey, did you cut the rope off that hat? I've never asked someone that question. So
now the Berghart's rope hat that you have, thank you, Berghart's, for the official team gear that we have here. Does that work for you? Are you
Yeah,
feeling
I think
like it's
so.
okay? Couple hours into the day.
Yeah, I think so. I have to be okay with it now, right?
Well, you can confide in me privately. Like I'm still not okay with it, but I'm working through it.
Yeah. This is the first rope hat I've owned. I figured, you know what? I'll give it a shot. We'll see what it's all about.
Do rope hats require boat shoes to go with the rope hats? Do rope hats imply that you are some kind of trust fund douchebag who's got more money than brains?
Maybe.
Do rope hats say, hey, this hat means I'm ready to party today, people, so let's get going?
I think it's certainly a certain demographic generally has a rope hat on.
Okay.
I don't think it's exclusive to that demographic, but I think a certain demographic has a preference for the rope hat.
All right. On the Nicolay Law talk and text line, 414-677-1250. What do rope hats say? What do they mean? What is the sign? What is the signal, the vibe that a rope hat gives out? Just curious about that. It could be a lot of different things. And, of course, your opinion on the old rope hat, welcome as well. Okay, it is Tuesday, August 11th, 2026. We are here for a good time, not a long time, so let's get productive here. Don't forget, it is day 82 of 109 of the summer, so keep going strong, and let's break the tape with our chest when this thing is all done. We're 30 days away from the start of the NFL season. That's Rams-Niners on Thursday, September 10th, down under in Melbourne, Australia, in which the Niners are arriving a week early, and the Rams and Sean McVay are coming in the day before, and they're leaving right afterwards. That is pretty incredible, the difference in opinion of here's what we're going to do with it. A week before in Australia, just for one game on a Thursday. I don't know, man. I don't know. We're 33 days from the Packers-Vikings, 4:25 Eastern, 3:25 Central, from Minnesota, week one. I've got some good sound from Packers camp when NFL Network's duo of Stacey Dales and Brian Baldinger, I respect both their work, sat down with Matt LaFleur. I've got two significant bites I want to play for you today. And we're 27 days away from the Badgers opener against the Fighting Irish at Lambeau Field. That game is going to be a spectacle to see those two iconic programs battling it out at that venue. Also, people are excited because now in the video game, college football video game for EA Sports, Lambeau is in the game. So if you wanted to play a college game at Lambeau, and I guess you could schedule anybody there by toggling the right things, you could have like Ball State versus Ole Miss at Lambeau. Why? Because I could. Because it's in the video game. If it's in the game, it's in the game. And since we're counting things down, just want to let you know, 135 days till Christmas, and it is 81 days to Halloween. Have you noticed the Halloween creep in stores? Places like Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, Target, etc. They are trying to make Halloween a 3-month footprint of a holiday.
I try to ignore that.
I know. You try to ignore, but they don't let you ignore.
Surprised they don't
put it
have
in
Christmas
your face.
stuff out yet.
Well, they will. They will. Now, Christmas has long since been a 3-month envelope holiday to get you to spend. I know. It's Christmas has always been October, November, and December. I think they're trying to Christmas Halloween. They're trying to make it a 3-month deal because they've started earlier now than ever in August, and they're going to go August, September, and then October.
Christmas, I kind of get because it's Christmas is more than just Christmas Day, right? The snow and it's the holidays, the festivities. Yes, Halloween is one day. It's one day. You don't do Halloween on. It's one day. I know, but they sell 14-foot skeletons that you can put in your yard for a month, maybe and then week. You got to pack them up, disassemble them. Put them in a giant duffel bag, store them somewhere where there's spiders and cobwebs and all this stuff, then get it out next year. Padres 3, Brewers 2 last night. A late one and a tough one. As damn you, Freddie Fermin, with a hell of a seed to throw out Brandon Lockridge to end the game. You had a great outing by Logan Henderson, who went deeper than normal, got bit on a changeup by Jackson Merrill, who just tanked it.
in a park that is not a hitter's park, by the way, although they moved the fences in a little bit because it used to be impossible to hit one out there at Petco. 2-run homer from Jackson Merrill, and then Mason Miller shut the freaking door. 30th save of the year to lead the Bigs. Padres are surging into the wild card from their own accord. The Brewers, meanwhile, only lost a half game. The Cubs were off. The lead in the division is 5. 3-2 final from out west, first of 3 games. Oh, yeah, the best footnote to the game is that Yelly went oppo for a 2-run bomb. Let's go. That's what we need.
We like it, but we like more than just that.
I know, but right now, Morris, we're going to take signs of life.
Okay.
Signs of life. A key RBI double last week at home. That was nice to kind of show a sign of life. A little boom, 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 boom. We have a heartbeat. We got a heartbeat here. So a 2-run oppo was nice to see, even though the Brewers lose 3-2. 74-45, a 622 winning percentage, 5-game lead in the division. They're 6 up in the first wild card. I'm going to check the POF every day from here on out, whether Josh likes it or not. Division POF is 81.1%. Bye is 66.6%. To make the World Series, 10.5%. And the playoff POF is 99.9%. On the Brewer front, I want to play this piece of audio. This is from MLB Network regarding what the Brewers are doing with Miz. I'll play it, and then we can go ahead and react. But here was Tom Verducci talking about how the Brewers look like they're handling Jacob Misiorowski down the stretch.
Brewers and best 2 records in the National League, and that means a first-round bye for them if the season were to end today. Is it a fair question to ask you, for which of those 3 teams vying for the 2 best records is the bye most important? Is it Milwaukee? Is it the Dodgers, who are trying to get some of those starting pieces back in the rotation?
It's Milwaukee, clearly to me, because of the Miz. I mean, they're turning him basically into a Sunday pitcher right now to kind of put a governor on his innings. I get it. It's a smart thing to do. If you have to burn him in the first round and then you don't have him for a division series, that puts them behind the 8 ball going into the next round. Point. So I think just for the sake of a guy who's been so dominant, really, there's been nobody better this year in terms of pitching. If I'm Milwaukee, I make sure I get that first-round bye.
Yeah, Milwaukee for me as well. I think when you look at what happened to them last year, it was kind of a boat race through L.A., right? And it was kind of like, man, they just not up to par with this team. He changes the whole landscape of that Brewers team. This is a total different team just with him. And I think that's the game changer you're looking for to the next year is like, we need this stopper. We need this dude, but we also are protecting them. And it makes sense, as far as, and they still have the best record, one of the best records. I think that in itself speaks highly of what this team has done. But I think it's a total different year what they did last year.
Okay. So what do you think, Aaron, of what the MLB Network crew just said there?
Yeah, I think first of all, it is the most important for the Brewers. The 1 seed by far. The Dodgers, I mean, it's the least important of anybody in the MLB. The Dodgers don't need it the most. So they're just instantly thrown out. The Braves, I think maybe have a conversation for it because they don't really have that many great starters. I would say Chris Sale has been fantastic. And if they burn him, maybe that's an issue. But for the Brewers, it is so important because they need, if needed, in a 5-game NLDS, they need Misiorowski to pitch game 1 because then he can pitch game 5 if that's needed. Yep. This year, you don't get the extra day off in the NLDS. It goes to the AL side. So you need 4 starters to get through a 5-game series in the division series. And if Misiorowski's only throwing 1 of those games, no matter who you play, it just probably isn't a great recipe.
All these arguments that come out about who needs something more, and this seems to be the way producers and production assistants at ESPN and other places like to phrase things. I never agree with that whole need thing. I always say sometimes when somebody has something nice, whether it's a car or a new set of golf clubs, did you need that? No, need didn't even enter the chat. It's want. I want this thing. If you're a team, you should want the bye no matter what. It's a want thing because it's just simple outcome-based logic, which is if you have to play more games, the chances of losing those games and being out go up significantly. So the more that you can bypass, the better. I'm a late merge, zipper merge guy in traffic, and I like to zipper merge the playoffs whenever possible. Oh, we got to buy? Sweet. I'm going to come up here and yoink, and now we're into the flow of traffic. So I do think that is important. It's a fine act to balance babying with also keeping a guy in rhythm. And that's why Murph and the front office, I think, are going to be on it. And I trust them implicitly that they're going to figure this out. Did we ever get to the bottom? What is the prevailing thought by you and everyone else about the Joey Ortiz situation? Why he's getting so many days off when he is rounding into one of the best stretches of hitting he's had in a long time? I get the boilerplate argument about lefties versus righties, but it smells weird to me. What's the theory?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, as much as it might be bland and plain and boring, I think it is just a righty-lefty thing. You know, the past couple of days he's had that neck issue, although he said he would have been available yesterday if needed. I think he'll probably start tonight, and he'll probably start for quite a bit now that Cooper Pratt is hurt, and people can be, can kind of put
There's
that
a
to
spot
rest
for him, yeah.
I just think, I mean, I don't know if I totally believe in the Joey Ortiz thing completely. Like, he had a hot stretch, and I'm not. You're
not an Ortiz truther at this point. You're like, look, he's played nice, but come on now.
Yeah, like, is he going to just continue hitting 315 for the next 2 months? Like, I don't quite believe it. So at some point, he's probably not going to be an everyday player, and this conversation will go away. But there are times I found myself over the last 2 weeks, like, really, Ortiz can't get a start tonight. Which is mind-blowing to myself because I never thought I would go there. But at some point, it's like, really? He can't go out there against a righty? Really? Yeah. Like, just try it,
Just give him a shot. Give him some at-bats.
Yeah.
Swinging the bat real nice.
So I'm mostly okay with him not playing every day. But there's times where I'm like, you should probably just play him.
All right. Pivoting to football. Coming up here after this first break, let's talk some Packers. I got a couple sound bites, one on Jordan Love and how highly Matt LaFleur thinks about him as a quarterback, especially before the ball is even snapped. And then also what LaFleur said is his most, I don't want to say concern, but what he'd like to see the most regarding Micah Parsons when he finally comes back. And a subtle rule change in the NFL, not where the typical rule changes come, usually after the meetings, but they just cut out yesterday. They're like, oh, by the way, we're changing this rule. As soon as I saw it, I said, ooh, this could, I emphasize, help the Packers a lot. I'll tell you what that is. Coming up next, Steve Czaban Show with Josh Albrecht. He's off this week. It's myself and Aaron Morris right here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What happened to Chris Berman's ass? That's a rhetorical question. I'll answer that next segment. Welcome back. Zabe here, Josh off, Aaron Morse running the show today. Hope you're having a good Tuesday so far. So, on the Packer front, this little rule change could be huge. We'll see how it plays out. Headline, NFL makes small change with potential big impact on review system. So, you know my stance on replay. Death to replay!
Oh, I thought you loved it.
No, I hate it. Hate every bit of it. But it is the tyranny, Aaron Morris, that we must live under. And if we're going to live under the jackboot tyranny of instant replay, then at least we better do it well. Can anyone in their right mind say that Matt LaFleur uses replay and the challenge system well? No, Matt LaFleur challenges things way too often out of petulance or frustration or just sort of a foot stomping like a toddler in the checkout aisle of the grocery store. Oh, but come on, that's gotta be. No, it's not. Or he just doesn't understand which challenges typically win in the NFL. You and I, Aaron, and any fan who watches the typical metric ton of football on television that we do on Sundays and Thursdays and Saturday nights and Monday nights, we know way better than the coaches because we watch and we see like that they're not going to overturn that. And sure enough, they don't. Or, oh, yeah, that's definitely going to be overturned. We know the tendency of what New York likes to do or not. So the coach himself, being the guy who has the ultimate say on are we challenging it or not, has always been suboptimals. And not only just because they don't really understand what will or will not get overturned, but also certain coaches like LaFleur, man, they don't give bleep all about their timeouts. So if they're going to take a challenge in the second half and risk losing a precious second half timeout that may cripple their strategic options to win the game in the final 2 minutes, they don't care. They will stomp their foot, throw the red flag, and hope for the best. Well, the new rule is this. The league will now allow a member of their staff to initiate replay challenges, a.k.a. someone else can hold the red flag. I got it. Me. You give me that red flag, then I will have a better overturn rate than all but the top 3 maybe in the NFL. I'm guessing McVay, Rain Man, would probably be better than me, but I'm telling you, Morse, you give me the red flag, I will have a great rate of return.
If Matt LaFleur came to you with a price point, what is the lowest price point you would accept per game
to take that job?
To take the job per game, lowest price point you would take.
You mean they pay me or I pay them?
No, they pay you.
Oh,
you would do it for free?
I would do it for free and a press box meal of beef stroganoff on a styrofoam plate. That's what I would do it for.
And access to all facilities.
I don't even need all that, but I'll let you negotiate the best deal you can for me. No, I would pay them. I'd pay them $1,000. I'd pay them $1,000 a game to be able to stand there on the sideline, to be the red flag guy, to have the final say on are we or are we not challenging this.
You're
It'd
paying
be great.
Baseline of $20,000 a year because 3 preseason games, 17 regular.
I was only thinking. Hold on a second. I was only thinking home games. All right, let's see, road games too. I got to do the road games as well. So, does that include travel with the team on the team flight?
They'll give you the travel. They'll pay for all your travel expenses.
So that includes flying on the team charter and staying in the team hotel, which is of course all 5-star accommodations.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, no, that sounds about right. I mean, it's expensive. I'd have to liquidate some of my 401k, but, who cares about that?
Who cares about a 401k? You're throwing the red hanky.
501c3. Who cares? Oh, it'd be so sweet. I would love this so much. Now, I don't know if the press corps, those who cover the team, I don't know if anyone has asked LaFleur, will you surrender the red flag? I'm assuming it'll come up at some point. This just came down yesterday. Oh, I also saw where now it's, I guess, an annual tradition. LaFleur and Goody swung by our friends at Cheesehead TV at the lovely headquarters of where they do their stuff out of, right next to Lambeau Field, Mr. Benke's house, to have a beer with the assembled sort of beat reporters and take a photo. You remember when this caused a stir outside of Green Bay last year? Well, they did it again. So now it's an ongoing thing.
How dare they?
Yes.
How dare they? Who do they think they are?
I wonder if this news came out before they visited for a beer, and I wonder if they asked him privately, so are you going to give up the red flag? Of course, in the New York Post article, this is not even a local article on this, the photo, Aaron, is of, guess who? Dropping the red flag. LaFleur. So it's almost like the editors knew, like, yeah, this guy does this a lot.
Guy out of here.
my only complaint about the red flag thing is they don't let you fire it onto the field. That apparently can result in an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. I think I saw it once. Like, to me, when you're challenging a play, you should be able to just launch that thing high into the air, into the middle of the field. Yeah, there should be a flair to it. I don't like the way coaches drop it as if they are some kind of socialite on the Upper East Side dropping her handkerchief to go, oh my, will somebody pick that up for me? Will my knight come by? Yes, the dropping is just too effeminate for me. I want to launch that son of a bitch. So we'll see whether or not LaFleur does that. Meanwhile, Stacey Dales, NFL Network, and Brian Baldinger stopped by Packers camp. Now, this happens whenever there's national types that come in for a sit down on TV, NFL Network or Kay Adams. And most of these interviews are sort of, giggle and laugh and isn't everything wonderful? And that's fine. It's August. Everything should be wonderful. Nobody's lost a game yet. Hopefully you haven't lost a key player to injury. It's fine. So there's not usually a lot that comes out of this. But there was a couple of sound bites that caught my attention. I'm going to play them for you here. The first one is LaFleur talking about just how good Jordan Love is before the ball is even snapped.
Matt, what are the tells that because you've spent so much time with Jordan, that you and Jordan speak the same language? Give us a feel for what that's like.
Oh, it's every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in most of those quarterback meetings, and just the conversations, and to watch his growth has been really a fun process. He's a great guy to work with every day. He's so consistent, so even keeled. And I think that's why in those critical moments, he can go out there and perform at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he has the command that you need. I mean, it's everything, just the run game, the run pass game, the checks, all those kind of things at the line of scrimmage, where you have to be at your best, getting yourself into the right play.
He's got to be the best I've been around in terms of protections and adjustments, and rarely does he get out schemed.
Wow.
It's pretty remarkable, and that was all foreign to him coming into the league.
Yep.
And I think having the opportunity to sit back and learn from Aaron and watch him do it at the level he did it, I think was invaluable for him.
Best you've been around, because Aaron Rodgers played some MVP.
And Aaron's going to get mad about this, but no, it's uncanny what he can do at the line of scrimmage with our protection adjustments.
Wow. That's good stuff right there, isn't it? Better than Aaron Rodgers? I do say this. I love about Jordan Love a lot of things, but this is something that is, I believe, quite underrated and certainly under talked about. The overall competence level of number 10 in getting things set up and getting the right play called is wonderful to have. And you have to have lived under a quarterback who can't do any of that to fully appreciate just how nice and how much of a luxury it is. And so the thing about Love to me, Aaron, is that I spend very little time worrying about the quarterback position. And I have to pinch myself at times to say, do you know what a luxury that is in this league? We are blessed. And if they just throw the damn ball to Golden more, he could have a monster year. That was interesting. What'd you take of that clip there?
My entire life, I haven't have to worry about a quarterback, which is
true.
Fantastic. Like literally all my life, they've had a Hall of Fame quarterback, or Jordan Love isn't there yet, but he could be.
Right.
So I don't really know the flip side, so I can't talk about that. I would like Jordan Love. I think sometimes maybe if he is such a great pre-snap quarterback, I think sometimes it doesn't always marry up with the in-play visual. Like I feel like sometimes he doesn't maybe fully trust himself, or he psychs himself out, or sometimes he doesn't quite get there in the play. Maybe that's nitpicky. But I also
and that's a typical thing. Like when so much is taken care of, when you're so not worried about who he is, what he does, how he operates, then yes, you have the luxury.
Mm-hmm.
We have the luxury to nitpick Jordan Love because that's all you got, really. There's no big complaints.
Yeah, I think pre-snap, I'm never going to be willing to say that he is better than Aaron Rodgers pre-snap. Aaron Rodgers has got to be the greatest pre-snap quarterback ever. I mean, like that's all people talk about is how good he is pre-snap.
The only thing is, I think towards the end of Rodgers, he had narrowed down his vision of what he wanted to do, and he just tried to order up pre-snap. Usually, and it was with Devontae, it was like, all right, I'm just going to whittle down my choices to the best options for Devontae because he's our best guy. I've got the best mojo with him. And, it sort of saw itself towards the end there where it's like, well, why isn't the offense more diversified? Well, because Aaron likes to do it this way. He likes to be able to come up, line of scrimmage, take a look, audible this, move that guy there. Sometimes it's better just to have a lot of motion, a lot of formations, a lot of stuff. And that's where we've seen the offense evolve since he's been gone.
That's an interesting point.
That was high praise right there.
Because, when LaFleur was with Aaron Rodgers, he was on the back end of his career and maybe was a little less willing to go with whatever LaFleur wanted to run. So maybe that's where LaFleur didn't necessarily always experience the greatness pre-snap, because in his eyes, it wasn't necessarily greatness because it was, offline and not what was called. But also Rodgers won 2 MVPs with Matt LaFleur. So I mean, it couldn't have been that bad for most of that time.
All right. Here's, speaking of what it's like to live under incompetent quarterbacking, this tweet from Browns practice where the Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, bumping uglies, mega death match of awful is going on at quarterback. This is great. End of Browns practice, 1.5-minute situation. Shedeur up first, drive ends with 2 false starts. Watson next up, 2 incompletions, a sack, an illegal formation, and a false start. Head coach Todd Monken ends practice and looked like he threw something. Warren Sharp retweeted, every sentence is progressively worse. That's great. Thank God we're not living in that timeline, as the saying goes. Okay, let me get the other bite here. This is on Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is a force of nature to be reckoned with, and we just want him to come back fully healthy. I don't want him to rush back. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of pressure. I think at some point, Parsons is going to be chomping at the bit to come back, and knowing how cautious the Packers training staff typically is, they're going to hold him back another week or so, and it's going to drive Parsons nuts. That's my prediction, but that's okay. Okay, we want him there for the stretch drive and when the game matters the most, postseason and everything else. Okay, so here was LaFleur and what his biggest thing he would like to see from Micah Parsons this year.
How excited are you, Micah Parsons coming back at some point here?
Well, that's kind of that's in the back of the brain, but
Okay.
That's a long way away, and certainly, he's a generational talent.
Yeah.
They're just
Nobody like him, man. There's nobody like him in this business.
I just wish he'd get more holding calls.
No, I mean,
dang!
It's interesting about that. So I played one time. I played with Reggie White, and because they didn't call holding against Reggie, like they don't call it against Micah, they wouldn't call it against us either. So it benefited some of the offensive linemen. It evened out a little bit. If they're not going to throw it on this chokehold that they got on Micah, like you saw last year, and you see every week,
Every week.
Yeah, every week. Like, I mean, if you just put that
Why
film
doesn't he
together.
get all the why doesn't he get all the calls when it's happening nonstop?
That's a heck of a question.
I'll answer it right here because you can't call it every play. That's why. He's so dominant, you can't call it every play. And every great pass rusher this happens to, it certainly happens to Garrett currently. And if they bring Donald back, I don't know how they're going to deal with it. Reggie did not get the requisite number of holds. The interesting theory from Baldy is, well, it could loosen things up the other way, which maybe the coaches are talking about. Like, hey, if this is going to be a game where they're not calling it when he's getting held, then let's do the same thing on our end.
Do your eyes tell you that?
What's that?
Do
my
eyes tell you that? Like the Packers are getting less holding calls because Micah doesn't get them when he's pass rushing?
Doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I wouldn't say my eyes are telling me that, Aaron. I'd say my emotions. Living emotionally, I feel like it's not actually helping. But we don't know if our guys are trying hard enough to hold.
That's true.
So
that's true.
We'll see. But those were two key takeaways from that interview. Coming up, it's the weirdest viral video I've seen in a while, which is Chris Berman, beloved longtime ESPN OG, apparently has lost his ass. I don't know where it went. I don't know what's going on, but the viral video of him walking around signing autographs at the Hall of Fame weekend is something we've got to talk about. And one of the all-time umpiring snafus in Toronto last night. Hoo boy, this was a doozy. Come back. We'll finish off strong here. Steve Czaban Show with Josh Albrecht, who's on vacation this week. Aaron Moore sitting in right here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Remember when Buck fans used to get upset about whether or not the Bucks were included on Christmas Day with Giannis in his prime and just off the championship? Well, the Christmas schedule is out, Aaron. I looked at it up and down twice. No Bucks.
What?
I know. It's crazy, right? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. Hold on. There's a couple NFL games mixed in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's 5 NBA games. So here's Christmas for you coming up. 135 days away. Just remember that as you do your Christmas shopping early here in August. Spurs, Knicks at noon Eastern. Packers, Bears at 1 Eastern. These are all Eastern times. You can do the conversion yourself. Heat, Celtics at 2:30. Bills, Broncos in the NFL at 4:30 Christmas Day. Lakers, Sixers at 5. Thunder, Wolves at 8. Rams, Seahawks at 8:15. And the Nuggets and Warriors at 10:30. So it's pretty much a whole day once you get the presents opened, you cook the eggs and bacon, you cleaned up the living room, sit down, crack open a cold one, watch sports. It's also funny how the NFL has basically said to the NBA, oh, that's a nice holiday you've claimed, huh? Christmas Day, huh? That's your day, huh, NBA? Watch this! Wham! Triple header on Christmas Day. God, the NFL is so greedy. Just unbelievable. What happened to Berman's ass? I need to know.
I think it's been gone for longer than just like a short period of time. Like, I think he just doesn't stand. We never see him standing.
The viral video that is going around of Chris Berman, beloved longtime sports anchor, one of the OGs at ESPN. He is going to stay on with the company, even though he doesn't do very much now. He's going to stay on, they say, until 2028 to make it a full 50 years. And I'm like, good for you, I guess. But he was walking around. You didn't, like you said, you never see him from out beyond the anchor desk. And he has the most spindly legs, a big old gut of living life well and eating big full meals, and literally no ass. In fact, his pants, if you had to guess his pant size, I would say it's like a 26-32. It's like literally smaller on the waist than it is in the length. Forget 36-30 or 38-32. He's a 26-32 or something like that. And then as I look at him, I'm thinking maybe the ass has migrated up north of the belt line. Is that possible? Is he just wearing his belt too low?
Is he sagging the pants?
I don't know. I've never seen a body type like that. I hope it's not a serious medical condition. We're not into body shaming here on this show. I mean, everyone's different. We're all God's children, but what the hell is even that on Berman? So when you get a chance today, go ahead and look that one up. Also on the Micah Parsons front, back to the Packers for a quick second. The Cowboys yesterday signed Quinnen Williams, the stud defensive tackle they got from the Jets, as a follow-on from the Parsons trade with the assets they got from us. They signed Quinnen Williams to a new deal, fresh money, 3 years, $105 million. So the full extent of that trade is now done and complete. Packers get Micah Parsons. They pay him the most that has ever been paid to that position, 4 years, $186. That's a top-line number, not the guarantees, but 4 for $186. The Cowboys end up getting Quinnen Williams, and they pay him $105 million. Kenny Clark, of declining impact, to be fair, and Malachi Lawrence. Who? Malachi Lawrence. The Jets, meanwhile, get a 2026 second-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick, and Maisie Smith. Who won the three-way between the Packers, the Cowboys, and the Jets?
Who got the best player?
That's one way to judge it. The answer would be the Packers. The Cowboys get a good player, but expensive now in Williams. Clark fit a need in theory at the time. It didn't really help their run defense like they had hoped. And the Jets get future assets that they will almost surely screw up because they're the Jets.
I mean, would you rather have Quinnen Williams at 30+ million or Micah Parsons at 30+ million?
Micah all day, every day.
There you go.
And on Sunday as well.
Question over.
Okay. There was a rule snafu in Toronto. I don't know how much, Brandon, you're into baseball rules and umpires and unique situations. You play the game, obviously, so you love it. Did you see what happened in Toronto last night with the scoreboard?
Yes.
Okay. Here's how it sounded, and then I'll explain it because it needs a little bit of splaining to get to the bottom of it.
This is in the air to center field. Bateman setting up. And the runner at first thought there were 2 outs. Throw the ball to first. This is going to be a double play. The runner at first, Sogar, didn't know how many outs there were. He was jogging around the bases. And it's a double play.
As soon as that ball was
Everyone's just standing around like, what's going on here? Wait till you hear the umpire get on the mic.
Could have tagged up and scored. They could have gotten a run. Both runners thought there were 2 outs.
So what happened was the scoreboard was wrong. It showed 2 outs. It should have showed 1 out. Apparently, this happens once in a blue moon. And at every stadium, Aaron, there is a guy called the boss. It's an acronym that stands for balls, outs, strikes, situation. The boss. And the boss is in charge of the scoreboard reflecting what is actually going on the field. But sometimes it can be wrong. Now, in the middle of this fly ball, they changed the number of outs on the scoreboard. You can see it. They're like, oh, whoops, there's actually only 1 out. But by then, the runners had already left.
Pitcher and catcher thought there were 2 outs too.
What made this was a screw-up is that the umpires on the field declared a force out at first on a tag-up that technically was not in effect because you have to appeal to the runner leaving early at third for the second out, and they did not do that. They called Daddy in New York and said, what's going on? And I think they just said, let's move on to the next inning. But it was a massive screw-up. Oh, well. All right, our time is over today. It was fun. It was quick, and I enjoyed it. I hope you did as well. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.